This is the second generation of the RingConn smart ring. And the original was already a very well priced smart ring with a heart rate sensor, a skin temperature sensor, a blood oxygenation sensor, and a 3D accelerometer, all packaged into a tiny little ring. But this second generation RingConn smart ring packs all of that into an even smaller package, and it adds a longer battery life, updates to the charging case, and can even detect sleep apnea. Okay, so somehow RingConn has added battery life and shrunk down the size of this ring. The ring is now about 12% smaller and about 23% thinner than the previous edition. RingConn is claiming that it's the thinnest smart ring on the market. Now quickly, I do want to show you how this ring compares to the previous version in the off chance that you are upgrading from one RingConn device to the newer second generation device. So you can see here that it is significantly thinner. And of course, all of this is going to depend on the size that you select. Now, typically, you are going to want to get a sizing kit. You're actually going to want to wear around a sample for a little bit of time and then complete your order with the exact correct size of the ring that you want. And I do recommend that people wear those smart rings on their index finger. It just tends to be a little bit more accurate than using it on some of the other fingers that you can use it on. Plus, bigger rings will be able to fit a bigger battery inside of them. This is actually a size 10 ring, and I'm seeing about 10 days or so of battery life. RingConn actually says that you can get up to 12 days of battery life on a single charge with these devices, but again, that's going to depend on which size ring you pick up. And the battery life on this device really is impressive when you actually compare it to the rest of the market. Now, I obviously haven't tested every single ring on the market, but I have tested quite a few, and this one really does top the charts when it comes to battery life. Now, probably one of my favorite features of RingConn, as opposed to some of the other options on the market, is their traveling charging case, which itself has a built-in battery. With it, you can actually get up to 150 days, and I do think it's perfect for traveling and not having to worry about bringing cables. Now, this ring is launching today on Kickstarter. Typically, I'm actually a little bit hesitant to support Kickstarter campaigns, but with RingConn, they've been around for a while. It's a reputable brand. I expect that they won't have a ton of problems delivering products. So you may want to grab this on early bird pricing. That might be a good idea if you're pretty sure that you do want this second generation RingConn device. The price is running from today until September 14th at $209. And then after the 14th, it bumps all the way up to $300. In RingConn, it is one of the more affordable options in this space. Here's another chart just to kind of like compare prices amongst some of these devices. And this device, what's really important is that it does not have a subscription fee, which is something that I'm personally looking for when I'm buying some of these health devices. Okay, so what data does this tiny little ring collect? In here, you're gonna see stuff like hours slept, total number of steps taken, an estimation of calories burned. It'll actually track your stress levels, and of course your heart rate data. You can actually look at your historical data over a 7-day period or a month or even a year. And I've actually found it to be pretty handy to just glance at, typically when I wake up, check out how I'm sleeping and how I'm recovering. But new to this second generation RingConn is a sleep apnea monitor. To use it, you just make sure that the ring is fully charged, and then before going to bed, you open up the app and you tap Start Monitoring. After waking up, open up the app again and slide the button to end the monitoring and wait for that report to be generated. Now, my only warning with all of this stuff is that, first of all, it's a beta application at this point. But while this is a nice, quick insight into sleep apnea, I don't think that it's a substitute for an actual doctor's diagnosis. See your doctor if you're interested in learning more about sleep apnea. Still, I do find this report very interesting. For me personally, as someone who really does struggle to get a good night's sleep, I like having this information built into my ring here. Okay, for me, it really feels like this smart ring space is definitely heating up. Actually, Samsung just recently, maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago, announced their own smart ring. RingConn itself is really, it's in a fantastic spot to take advantage of all of this additional interest in this marketplace. Just because, for one, they are on their 2nd generation. Also, they have a very good product at a very good price. Now, I'm not suggesting that you buy this specifically because of its sleep apnea detection capabilities, but it definitely doesn't hurt that it is trying to collect another data point that's pretty unique. I don't think I've ever seen any other sort of small health tech device collect that specific data. I'd love to see the software team at RingConn continue to bubble up suggested changes and information that might benefit those of us that are wearing these rings. Just like subtle pushes that might help us be a little bit healthier. I'm thinking of things like suggested times to avoid screens before bed, maybe suggested times to avoid caffeine, or maybe even take caffeine if you are, a coffee drinker. And all of these tiny little subtle lifestyle changes, I really do believe they can add up to better healthy living. In this ring, I think that this ring is a great way to objectively measure and hopefully track improvements on those metrics. But what do you guys think? Is this something that you would consider? Are you gonna jump on this Kickstarter campaign and save a little bit of money? I actually think it's a neat product, and I'm really glad that RingConn is already on their 2nd generation of this ring product. Either way, smart ring or no ring at all, I really do hope that you guys are getting out there, staying as healthy as possible, and we will see you guys on the next one.